Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a man returning home from a Taylor Swift concert Friday night was killed in a hit-and-run crash. And a 60-year-old man was killed by a bull near Dallas on Monday. Plus, 5 out of the 6 suspects in that Sweet 16 mass shooting are set to appear in court today.
We had a few light showers around the area today. The cloud cover is with us. Now we're waiting for the big stuff. We got 2 waves of thunderstorms possible in the next 5 days. I'll have all that coming up for you, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Matt. Keep Victoria Beautiful is working on improving Victoria's economy one flower bed at a time. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Karina Garcia. James Munoz is out on assignment today. We begin with a 60-year-old man who was killed by a bull in Ferris, about 20 miles south of Dallas Monday. The victim's father called police saying he thought the bull had killed his son. When deputies and first responders arrived, they say the bull was destroying property and not allowing them to get close to the man to help him. The bull was then shot and killed, but the man was pronounced dead at the scene. There's no word on who owns the bull or where he came from in the first place. The circumstances are now under investigation. Now in local news today around 2 p.m. a driver drove his 2014 Ford Fusion into the lake at Patriot Park. Authorities say the man was under the influence of alcohol and headed to El Campo. He was able to get out through the passenger window. Our reporter on scene says the man accidentally put the vehicle in the wrong gear and drove straight into the body of water. Authorities will work to get the vehicle removed as the water in that area can be 30 feet deep. A tragic turn of events for 2 siblings last weekend. They were returning home from a Taylor Swift concert Friday night when their car stalled on a highway. This is when Jacob Lewis began pushing the vehicle off the roadway when a suspected drunk driver slammed into the vehicle and Jacob died.
I immediately ran to him and called 911, and that was it.
That's one of the last memories April Bancroft has of her younger brother, Jacob Lewis. But it's not the one she says will stay with her from Friday night. Just a couple hours before the crash that took his life, they were preparing to see Taylor Swift together.
Knowing that we had that experience as our last memory is something wonderful to hold on to, and I will forever.
Lewis himself was no stranger to the stage.
Fallen from God. Fallen from grace.
It's where his parents say he came alive.
He just always shone so brightly on the stage. He is a bright light.
He had such a bright future. We were looking forward to his future.
I fear that I'll never get to hold my sister's son.
The young thespian performed through high school and at the professional theater stages during the pandemic. He was headed to Sam Houston State University to pursue musical theater until police say Alan Hayes got intoxicated, then got behind the wheel.
Driver, hit her car, and helped to get our son out from under his car, and then got back in his car and drove away.
A tow truck driver heard about the crash and spotted a car driving erratically in the area. He followed Hayes for 2.5 miles, blocking him in on Caroline Street. Police say Hayes tried to run, but he was eventually arrested for DWI and leaving the scene of the crash. He's in jail on a $90,000 bond, and Bancroft says it's a good thing there are bars between the two of them.
Some part of me knows that I should not get anywhere near him with what I would want to do to him, because it just breaks my heart.
Until it mends, the Lewis family says they are relying on each other, their community, their faith.
My friends, I'll say it clear.
And their memories of Jacob.
He's no longer with us, but he's still a part of us. We'll carry him wherever we go.
Lived a life that's full.
The family is accepting donations through GoFundMe. They plan to create a scholarship fund in Katy ISD in Jacob's name for musical theater students. Keep Victoria Beautiful wants to improve the local economy one flower bed at a time. The organization says studies show litter-free and well-landscaped cities have better economic growth. Now a beautification grant will help get that process started here in Victoria.
Businesses, schools, nonprofits, churches can apply for a beautification grant of up to $1,000 to do some landscaping projects that would help beautify the outside of your place. So we're not just saying, hey, go beautify your place. We're saying, hey, we can help you financially do that.
Local businesses can apply for various grants. For more information, come to crossroadstoday.com. And this is going to bring us to your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Does your business plan to apply for a Keep Victoria Beautiful grant? Yes or no? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 6. And now let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Hey, Karina, I think I'm going to beautify my weather office,
Oh, absolutely.
That'll sort of
Go
help
for it.
out, I think it's a great idea, putting out flowers. You know why? Because now it's raining and all the flowers are so happy. Well, we had a few little light showers around the area today. Your current temperature is 78 degrees. Southeast wind bringing back that humidity and moisture. But two fronts are coming from the north in the next 5 days, and both of them will probably have some stormy weather with them. We'll be talking about that and taking a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in a moment. Karina, back to you.
Mac, thank you. A company with ties to GOP mega donor Harlan Crow previously had a case before the High Court. In 2004, a company related to the Crow family asked the Supreme Court to take up a dispute related to a copyrighted architectural drawing. The court didn't take up the case. Thomas is under fire for failing to disclose a 2014 real estate deal he made with Crow and for tips paid for Crow. In a statement earlier this month, Thomas said he hadn't disclosed the trips because he was advised he did not have to report them. Now, 5 out of the 6 suspects facing murder charges in connection with the deadly mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party will appear in court today. The April 15 shooting in Dadeville left 4 people dead and 32 others hurt. The 6 suspects include 4 teenagers. Police identified 5 of the suspects. An unnamed 15-year-old who was the 6th person to be arrested and charged isn't part of this hearing. All 6 suspects were charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. President Biden has announced that he will be running for a second term. The president's campaign video highlights key messages and policy moves from the past few months and draws attention to his accomplishments from his first 2 years in the Oval Office. Vice President Kamala Harris is also featured throughout this video. He ends the video with a message saying, "Let's finish the job." At 80 years old, he'll be the oldest candidate to seek re-election. Alrighty, stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. A Tokyo-based company attempted to land a spacecraft on the moon today, but was unsuccessful. Also ahead, singer Ed Sheeran arrives in court in Manhattan in the copyright trial over his song, Thinking Out Loud.
82nd Airborne Division United States Army veteran James, who also goes by Jim McMahon, is your military hero for the month of April. McMahon was born in Nebraska and then grew up on the south side of Chicago, so you may notice he's got a bit of an accent, but he fits right in here in the Crossroads. Right after high school, he tried college, but at that time, it just wasn't for him.
1985, I went into the military, decided to join the military to try to get some direction in my life.
His family has a history of serving the country, and his uncle was also in the Airborne Division.
My grandfather fought under General Patton in World War II. My uncle was in the Army in Vietnam, and he was a paratrooper also.
McMahon figured what better way to get in shape than join the military.
Plus, I knew I'd get in great shape if I joined the military because they're going to make me get in great shape.
He would go on to become a medic and lab tech, going to basic training and then to jump school. Because he just wasn't any lab tech, McMahon would jump out of a plane, taking the hospital with him.
The lab would go with us into the field. So when I jumped, our unit jumped, all our medical equipment was offloaded onto planes too. It dropped down to us. Our Humvees for ambulances and stuff, our tents, our microscopes, everything is sent down to us.
He also spent a year in South Korea where he would pick up an expert field medic badge. While he was talented in the medical field, McMahon saw how tough that field can be.
And we worked on this guy for an hour. It was totally heartbreaking. And then the chief was like, "Hey Mac," that's what they call my nickname. "Hey Mac, why don't you come with me and we'll have to tell his family." Because he wanted me to experience the full thing. And we came around the corner, and this poor lady's like 7 months pregnant with her first child. And from that point on, into my head, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can do this medical thing for a profession. Because everybody that does it, that's the hardest thing to do, dealing with death, And some people could do it. Me, I realized this is going to be a tough thing to do.
He finished his time in the military in 1989 and then would go on to finish college, picking up a bachelor's degree in history and political science, and went on to a teacher's college in Nebraska to get his master's in education. He He's now taught in Victoria for 5 years.
And I started teaching. The reason I started teaching is I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest. It was my wife. She's like, you love history. I mean, I love history. And so I started thinking about that, and I started becoming a history teacher, and it's been fantastic. I teach over in Victoria West now, and it's a great school. I mean, just love this town. It's a really good place. It's fun. I mean, jumping out of airplanes was some of the scariest thing I did, man. I mean, you go into a door, and you look down, you see trees going past you. You feel this breeze in your face, and that light goes off, and you get smacked down the butt, you just fly out of this airplane. You just throw yourself out of an airplane. As scary and as great as a rush as that was, teaching is the same thing, because every day you don't know what kids are going to bring into your classroom. Is there something good to be coming in? Are they in a great mood? Are they upset over something? Maybe situations at home, so you never know what you're going to get. The content is the same, but everything changes by day, which is, to me, another exciting aspect of it.
McMahon understanding the importance of history.
And like I tell kids, you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been. So if we know where we've been, we can look back on things and try to make adjustments and try to make this a better society for everybody.
In his free time, he enjoys documentaries and spending time with his wife and children and their pets, and he lives for the summertime, where you can usually find him by a body of water. McMahon says the military taught him honor and to just be better than he was yesterday.
Oh, honor. Because it's like, it taught me, when you're in the military, this country always look out for the little guy. And what it taught me, and this is the military, is to believe in myself and try to help other people. Because I was a lab tech and a medic, so this goes according to my belief anyway, of helping other people. But I drive of believing in myself and try not to hurt anybody, just doing the right thing. And I try to tell kids this all the time. I'm like, if you try in life, at least try to do the right things, good things will actually happen to you. And it actually turns them into better citizens. And so that's kind of, the honor thing's a pretty big issue with me.
And do you think that's rang true for you? If you're a good person, good things
Yes,
happen?
I firmly believe that. People are like, it's karma. Maybe it is karma. But I believe that if I do right, every morning I wake up and I try to be a little bit better of a person than I was the day before, the end product's got to be a good place. At least I hope.
So thank you, Jim McMahon, to your service to your country and to all the service members out there, past and present. And a special shout out to all the educators out there. Adam Seibel, KAVU-TV 25 News Now.
Tonight.
Why did he take her?
It's an epic new rookie crossover event.
In foot pursuit with FBI agents. We are running out of time.
With a race to rescue one of their own. Tonight, starting at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Texas? Now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup. Now with a great in-stock selection to choose from, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition, or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Ford SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty. Drive Escape now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash, plus up to $500 accessories cash, plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Are you a new AT&T customer looking to upgrade your phone? You're trapped, locked into your contract for 3 years.
And your phone is locked into their network too.
No 2-year upgrade for you, Jonathan.
But T-Mobile has a way out. Introducing the Easy Unlock. Bring your AT&T locked phone and T-Mobile will pay it off and give you one of the latest 5G smartphones free. Plus, next time you're ready for an upgrade a year earlier.
You're free now, little one.
So are you. Just so we're clear, I did trip on purpose for comedy.
Free your phone now at T-Mobile.
A Japanese company attempted to land a spacecraft on the moon Tuesday but lost communication before confirmation. The CEO for iSpace says the landing attempt was deemed unsuccessful since they were unable to reconnect to the lunar craft. The company was hoping to touch down in the Atlas crater in the northeastern sector of the moon. The mission carried scientific research and other payloads. No people were on board. If successful, the landing would have more iSpace for the first private entity to complete the fleet. North Dakota's governor signed a 6-week abortion ban into law. The Republican governor signed the legislation Monday. It's being called one of the strictest abortion restrictions in the country. The law makes abortion a Class C felony with no exceptions for rape or incest after 6 weeks of pregnancy. However, it allows the procedure if the mother's health or life is at danger. The abortion ban is slated to take effect as soon as the Secretary of State signs and files this bill. The latest craze making its rounds on TikTok are water recipes. This means adding flavored syrups and powders to water in order to drink more of it.
It may make drinking water easier for those who don't care for it.
So water is very important, not just for hydration, but to be able to, digest our food, have regularity and things like that as well.
The TikTok trend to add flavored syrups and powders to water can change how it tastes, but is it a healthy way to keep hydrated? Clinical dietitian Bridget Dewan with Orlando Health says it's important to listen to your thirst cues.
We actually kind of talk about all fluid. So the goal is about 13 cups of fluid for adult males and about 9 cups for adult females. And this includes all fluid. So we have to factor in, yes, coffee counts, soda counts, juice counts.
If you're swapping out soda for water with sugar-free syrups or powders, Dewan says that's a good substitution. However, drinking too many fluids can lead to low levels of sodium in your body and lead to a potentially dangerous condition called hyponatremia. Symptoms include nausea or vomiting, headache, confusion or fatigue, loss of energy, muscle weakness, or cramps.
Too much water is a bad thing. Too little water is a bad thing. So it's a very good balance of what our body needs water for on a day-to-day basis.
If you're switching up your hydration routine and have questions, Dewan says it's best to talk to your doctor or registered dietitian first. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Singer Ed Sheeran is in court for the copyright trial over his hit song Thinking Out Loud. A lawsuit claims the song uses elements of Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. The case is being brought by the heirs of Ed's Towns, Gaye's co-writer. They say there are similarities between the tracks that violates their copyright. Sheeran arrived in court in Manhattan today for jury selection and opening statements. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump also arrived for the proceedings. He represents the Townsend family but is not involved.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We did have a few light showers around the area today as we set the stage for the big storms. It's going to be coming in on Thursday and then again on Saturday. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about an aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. On Thursday, April 13, 2023, about 9:30 p.m., a 21-year-old Hispanic male was robbed at a convenience store at the 2100 block of Lone Tree Road. The victim described the offender as a Hispanic male, approximately 5'8", with a bald head and many tattoos. The victim was injured and taken to a local hospital for treatment. If you have any information about this aggravated robbery, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on the Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. I'm Detective Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high-output engine. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Opening April 21st, The Nave presents the diverse works of Ernesto Leon, an artist with over 40 years of professional experience. Dedicated to painting and sculpture, his works are influenced by history, the art of Jackson Pollock, and the work of Italo-Argentinian artist Lucio Fontana. His sculptures deal with sunlight, construction, and the organization of geometric elements as a way of approaching space, while his paintings are saturated with colors. Closing June 11th, this is an exhibit not to be missed.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. 78 degrees as you wander around the town at this hour of the day, probably on your way home to, home for the day. The winds out of the southeast today brought back a lot more cloud cover and humidity. You probably felt it getting a little higher. We got up to only 80 because of the cloud deck, and that's about where we're supposed to be, about 82 this time of year. But as I mentioned, what is kind of different is that we've got these big storms coming through the plains, sending us some stormy weather. Now today, as I mentioned, this is all fairly light stuff. I mean, no severe weather, but we're, shall we say, on the edge of that activity, and we're going to be watching it as a big stream of moisture rolls back up. Now, right about now, here's the city, and we may not have had anything here, but you can see we've got one big thunderstorm just rolling to the west of the Gonzales area, headed up toward Luling. These are all moving northbound. Now, in the next couple of days, this big storm in the in the plains rather, is going to be the focus of a lot of activity. Now, first of all, we see about 4 or 5 things that come together in these spring storms. You've got the warm air going north. That's why we have this stationary front here. That's the warm air. You have the cooler, drier air coming in behind it, and then you've got all this lifting in the atmosphere that causes the big thunder shower activity. Now, out of that place, 3 or 4 bands of big storms are going to come out. So we're going to go through Tuesday, and we go through Wednesday early in the morning. You can see the storm is beginning to organize there, and we're still just on the cloudy deck. And then we go into Wednesday afternoon. You can see them starting to roll up there. But then behind that front, or with that front really, the line develops further south as it gets into this moist field where we are in South Texas and along the coast. And that would be on Wednesday. By Thursday, we get a big strong line coming through. Did you see how that went? Right through the area here. So we've got a line of storms coming through on Thursday. Now, you'd think, okay, it's over, right? Not necessarily, because as we get through Thursday, that does blow away, giving us a nice Friday. Problem is that right behind it, there's another system coming rapidly behind it. Stronger cold front, stronger north wind, just in time for Saturday. So we'll show you that on the 7-day. Here's San Antonio, here's Houston, here we are, and here's the northern side of the crossroads. You can see they're under the slight possibility of getting a couple of heavy thunder showers. Now that's today. As we go into tomorrow, we still have that opportunity of getting some thunder shower activity right about here, but boy, I tell you, North Texas is going to be under the gun. If you have any plans to drive up there in the next couple of days, just, stay in tune, because there's going to be lots of stuff rolling around up there. So let's take a look at Future Tracker. Here's where we are today, and then as we go in through Wednesday, and then Thursday, you see that line right about there. That's the stormy weather coming all the way from East Texas into South Texas and then rolling through. That's the first one. Then a little bit of a break, and then we'll watch and wait to see what Saturday does, because that's the second portion of the thing. So we're looking at 83 tomorrow, then cooler with the storms on Thursday. Not a bad looking Friday, but then we watch and wait for that second system on Saturday for additional showers. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we've got a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we'll be able to communicate with you directly, just like Dick Tracy did back in the old days. Karina, back to you.
Mac, thank you. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, a survey shows some consumers think the economy is going to get worse in the next 6 months.
Hi, I'm Stacy with Hall Lighting and Design Center, and I would like to personally invite you in to experience how we define normal every single day. How do we define normal? By bringing the most exquisite home furnishings, lighting, and accessories from all over the world. We've become a destination for shoppers all across Texas, giving you an experience like no other. Come see for yourself at Hall Lighting and Design Center in Victoria how you too can define normal.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, part of America's best-selling trucks for 46 straight years. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. And now, there's a great in-stock selection to choose from at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Drive F-150 now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash plus up to $1,000 accessories cash plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Hi, I'm Charlie Garcia.
And I'm Rico Garcia.
And we are USA Concrete Coatings.
If you're ready to upgrade your business, restaurant, garage, man cave, or porch, then you're ready for USA Concrete Coatings.
We'll have your floors looking flawless with our exclusive USA Concrete Coatings products. We'll ensure that your concrete coating is strong and durable. It's antimicrobial and comes with a lifetime warranty.
USA Concrete Coatings, from concrete to custom, in just one day.
On Thursday, April 13th, 2023 at 9:30 p.m., a 21-year-old Hispanic male was robbed at a convenience store on the 2100 block of Lone Tree Road. The victim described the offender as a Hispanic male, approximately 5'8", with a bald head and many tattoos. The victim was injured and taken to a local hospital for treatment. If you have any information about this aggravated robbery, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward.
Alrighty, let's look at these stocks. The Dow losing 345 points, the S&P 500 losing 65 points, and the Nasdaq down 239 points. Oil down $1.69, closing at $77.07 a barrel. Americans seem a little more worried about the economy these days. Consumer confidence dropped from 104 in March to 101.3 this month. It's a low enough level often associated with a recession within the next year since last February. The number only briefly crawled above that territory once in December. People are concerned about inflation and jobs, and they expect things to get worse in the next 6 months. Alrighty, stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, an ancient sculpture purchased at a thrift store is now heading back to Germany.
Looking for a way to support your community? Find unique treasures at Blue & Company. Why not catch a movie at the Grand Theater or spruce up your garden at Handy Stop Nursery? Shop local and support your community. Visit Yoakum and explore all it has to offer.
Victoria Eye Center and 25 News Now brings to you every Monday a Vision Health segment to learn about eye diseases and possible treatments. Tune into the segment or go to crossroadstoday.com to learn more about eye health, brought to you by Victoria Eye Center.
Victory Kia and Victory GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory GMC.
The biggest Jeopardy event ever is in prime time.
Monday, May 8th. 6 all-time greats.
What is grit?
Who's Caro?
What is Mean Girls?
One incredible tournament.
Oh, I think you should get this checked out. Bring it.
Who will be crowned the first ever Jeopardy Masters champion? If we have any more games like that, I don't know if my heart is going to hold out.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event starts Monday, May 8th, 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The discovery of an ancient Roman bust in an Austin thrift store is heading to Europe. Purchased for only $35 in a Goodwill store nearly 5 years ago, it was determined to date back to the 1st century AD Rome. An antiques buyer bought it thinking it must have a storied history, which it did. The artifact belongs to a museum in Germany, but was likely stolen during World War II. Now it's on its way back to Germany. The San Antonio Museum of Art has displayed the Roman bust since last May, and preparations are are underway to send it back to Germany. Would you keep it if you found it?
Well,
selfishly, yes.
Selfishly, yes, but a piece of priceless art. And can you imagine the kid going with a Mark-a-Lot? $35.
Yeah, can you imagine? Selfishly, I would want to keep it, and selfishly too, I would bid with the museum. Like, how much?
Well, I'm sure they did. I mean, they can't just walk away with it for $36.
Imagine that. Well, Mac, how is the weather going to be in the Crossroads?
Well, I'll tell you, next couple of days, we're going to be off and on with the rain, because while today we just had the little light stuff, tomorrow's not a bad looking Wednesday. It's Thursday when we expect a line of storms to roll through the area, then a clearing and cooler for Friday, and then a second line of showers coming in on Saturday with another front. But I think that by Saturday night and into Sunday, we have a pretty good looking weekend coming up for all of us. Karina?
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. But before we go, how much do you think that is worth? That priceless artifact, yeah.
I have no idea.
Somewhere in the billions, maybe? Millions?
A lot.
A lot.
More than I've got in my bank account.
Oh, more than mine, that's for sure.
But I mean, it's 2,000 years old. It came from Rome.
It's priceless, you know?
And then, you know, the intrigue of who stole it and where it was during World War II and how it got over here.
So much history.
Into an Austin thrift shop. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's crazy, honestly. Well, thank you for being with us. Remember, we're always on at Crossroads Today Plus, and we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with Davey Muir is up next.